7-9 in the Atlantic 10, and Rutgers coming in at 3-12, so quite a bit of difference there. But as we pointed out in the pregame, Dick Lloyd, a very important game for both clubs. You take a look at the standings and you might not think so, but you pointed out that home court advantage in the conference tournament.
I believe this is the first time, and I'm not sure how many other conferences do it, where they're not going to a central site, or at least to a central site for the semifinals and finals. So this is going to be very important.
All right, the starting lineup for Penn State. They'll start up front. Junior, 6'4", Wes Jones. Tom Hovas, sophomore, 6'8". In the middle, Jim Newcomer, 6'10.5". Tony Ward and Brian Allen in the backcourt for Penn State. For Rutgers, as the Scarlet Knights win the tap, they'll go with Eric Riggins and Emery Ward at the forward slots. Lee Perry, the freshman, will be at center. Rick Datica and Steve Brown in the backcourt for the Scarlet Knights. This is Riggins open. Baseline jumper, no good. Rebound, Ward underneath. Emery gets it out off the hands of Steve Brown, who tracks it down. Rutgers moving left to right on your screen in their home white uniforms, of course, with the red numerals and numbers. Penn State in their Nittany blue road uniforms. Just underway. No score. Riggins knocked away.
So Penn State starting in his own defense here. Urick has been open in that right-hand corner, but I think they'd prefer he take the shot from the outside rather than operating inside, which he has been doing so effectively over the last several games.
Danica to Brown, Brown to Riggins. Penn State with some tough defense early on here. Perry with the short jumper, too hard off the back of the rim. Ward controlling the boards for the Knights.
And we talk about rebounding being effective. There's a good example. We're staying down the Rutgers end.
Riggins, baseline jumper, no good. But the Knights, ice cold. Hovas falling down. Crowd looking for travel, but none forthcoming. Penn State finally gets the basketball after a minute and 13 seconds. Here are the Nittany Lions. This is Hovas. Takes the jump shots, doesn't go. Rebound, Perry. Talk about Hovas's peculiar face mask he has on a little bit later on. Riggins, baseline jumper, in and out. Both teams ice cold early on.
Penn State looking at that scouting report saying Rutgers shooting about 42%, so we'll zone them. They don't have a lot of firepower outside. We can help on Riggins inside. Right now, Rutgers is keeping him outside.
This is Wes Jones, 24.
Penn State was attacking on the perimeter, then they started to send some players through. We'll probably begin to see a little bit more movement now.
We've played over 2 minutes without a score in the game. Shot outside, no good. Taken by Tony Ward. Rebound knocked around and off of Penn State.
Tony Ward is their best shooter. He's shooting at about 45%. Leads them in their three-point field goals also.
Ward averaging 12.6 points per game. Here come the Knights. Steve Brown gives to Ward. Datica at the top of the feed. Perry left flank. Steve Brown up top, inside Riggins, puts it up, scores, and it's fouled.
And that's very interesting, Lou, because Penn State changed their defense to a man-to-man. As soon as they did, Riggins goes inside, Rutgers looks for him, and he's almost unstoppable in there.
We have talked briefly about the legacy of Eric Riggins over the last 10 games, averaging 29 points per contest. He's just been on fire. He will go to the line. And Eric, a good free throw shooter. Hits and completes the three-point play. Rutgers not a good free throw shooting team, but Riggins does his part from the line. 3-0. Scarlet Knights lead it early. 17 minutes, 20 seconds remaining, first half. Hovas open momentarily, bullets a pass inside. The little turnaround baby hook is good.
Hard to tell what happened that time. It looked like Rutgers got a little confused on defense. They may have been playing a matchup and just missed their assignment and left them open underneath.
That's Ed Fogel who scored that basket for Penn State out of Hatboro, Pennsylvania. So he gets into the game early for the Nittany Lions. Brown for three, doesn't go. Penn State quickly up court. Brian Allen. This is Jones. Now Tony Ward. Ward bounce pass inside. Fogel knocked away. Good defense by Emory Ward. Knights come quickly up court. They lead at 3-2. Slow start to the ball game. Datica and Brown will set it up. Perry. We played 4 minutes, and we've only had 5 points scored. Riggins, though, scores 6 and 7. 5-2, Rutgers.
And we notice, I think that's Eric Riggins' 4th shot. He had one from the right corner, one from the left corner. He's had 2 inside. He's made them both and went to the foul line with one of them.
Fogel now finds an open man underneath. That's Wes Jones. He scores. Dick, last 2 times down court, Fogel looks like he has a tendency to put the ball down in traffic. That's a no-no, isn't it?
It's tough to do against that combination, too, because everybody is collapsing on him.
5-4, Rutgers by a point. Here's Riggins. I mentioned Penn State has defeated Rutgers 3 consecutive times. First game this season was a blowout. Penn State winning by 20 out at State College. Ward in traffic, travels. Last time Rutgers beat Penn State was back in '85. Scarlet Knights won it handily, 84-47. This is Tony Ward. Hovas for 3. In and out. A spinner. And the foul will be, I believe, on Penn State.
I believe that foul is going to be on Ed Fogel. He used his left hand to lean on the hip and just went up with the other hand. Good call by the official.
That's the second team foul on Penn State, and both of them were Fogel.
Fogel's out now, and that doesn't surprise me. I had expected Jim Newcomer to start. He's
right
back in the game now.
Oh, nice defense here by Jones, and then, excuse me, I said Jones was Ryan Allen on the steal, but then Ward got it back. Here's Brown. Perry, baseline air ball. Allen shovels off to Tony Ward. Here's Wes Jones, Brian Allen. 6 minutes gone by, a slow start to the ball game. Low scoring contest so far. Rutgers by a point, 5-4. Cross court. Here is Ward, and traveling is the call. And there's a timeout on the floor. 13 minutes, 51 seconds remaining. The score, Rutgers 5, Penn State 4.
Congratulations and good luck. Amboy Madison Home Equity Ready Credit could be the last loan you ever have to ask for. It's ready cash you can borrow instantly for any purpose at any time. You simply write a check for whatever you need, and you can get approval within 5 days. So stop by or call any convenient Amboy Madison National Bank. Take advantage of the equity built into your home with Home Equity Ready Credit.
Back at the Athletic Center, where Rutgers leads Penn State by the score of 5-4. Very slow start to the game. Dick Lloyd, it looks like both teams, as we discussed a little bit during the break, kind of a deliberate style by both.
Well, since both teams are playing some zone, they want to pick it apart, pass it around, go over top of it a little bit. And that happens early on in the game, too, because you're trying to take a look at what the team's trying to do.
All right, Rutgers will have the basketball. They will inbound side court. And here is Steve Brown, who will bring it across. Same starting lineup. Same lineup as started the game is the correct way to say it. Here's Riggins inside, open, lays it in. Nice pass by Danica.
Penn State staying with that man-to-man. Rutgers staying with the strategy they've used the last few games. Put Riggins inside, get it inside to him. Jim Newcomer has a little more size, 2 more inches, but not the mobility or the moves.
Here's Tony Ward. Inside, West Jones, blocked from behind by Perry, but they call the foul. So the foul on the freshman Lee Perry from Freehold, New Jersey. That's the first foul for Rutgers in the game. It is a shooting foul, and it will send Tony Ward. No, is it Tony? No, it's West Jones to the line. Jones averaging 3.7 per game. Hits the first. Actually missed the first. 7-4 the score. And the second is good. So it is 7-5. Rutgers by a bucket. Bad cross-court pass by Ward. West Jones lays it home.
Penn State switched that defense down the other end. They went into a little bit of a trapping, a zone trap.
We're tied at 7. 7 minutes gone by. Riggins pops, doesn't go. Rebound underneath the Hovas. And Penn State pushes it up. Tony Ward stops outside now, goes cross-court Allen. Here is West Jones. Ward open for 3, hits.
You could see that in his eyes, even from up here. He was calling for that ball, and he made sure he was almost a step outside that three-point line.
Riggins the other way, scores. (10-9) Penn State by 1. Ward on the baseline. And then Emory Ward ran into him, but no call. Now for 3. Yes! Tony Ward. 13-9. Penn State by 4. 2 consecutive 3-pointers for the Nittany Lions. Here's Danica outside.
He likes that 3-point shot. Actually, Hovas takes more. He's taking about 3 more shots, but they're both hitting about the same, 45% from that 3-point range.
The foul is on West Jones, up high on Riggins. That's Jones' first personal. It's the 3rd team foul for Penn State here in the first half. Ward will inbound side court. Watson now into the game for Rutgers.
Sure, Craig put him in now to get a little more outside firepower.
Steve Brown. Here's Watson. Danica for 3. Ricky hits. 13-12. Penn State by 1. Tony Ward knifes his way through the Rutgers defense. Off the deflection, Allen goes for the bank shot. Ward underneath, puts it up, doesn't go. Rebound knocked around. Hovas with the hook is short, and the foul underneath on Rutgers. Could be Riggins. It's on Steve Watson. That's his first. Only the 2nd team foul for the Scarlet Knights. Bruce Blake is into the game now for Penn State, number 31. He'll replace West Jones at the forward slot for Penn State. Hovas at the line. Take a look at Hovas, and you see that protective face guard. Suffered a broken nose earlier this season.
Must be awkward to play with that, too. I wouldn't want to have to play one of those.
I would think so. Hits the first, hits the second. Doesn't seem to affect his shooting at all, though. 15-12. Penn State by 3. Here's Brown, Danica. Riggins, cross-court, Hovas knocks it away. Penn State again. Again, though, a cross-court pass by Rutgers, and then off a bad pass by Penn State. Rutgers comes the other way.
The second time Penn State's been able to do that with that little trapping defense.
Emory Ward, Steve Watson, cross-court Brown. He pops and hits. A 1-point Penn State lead. The Lions lead at 15-14. Here's Blake, Ward, Allen, Hovas. For three, Tony Ward, unconscious from three-point range.
Both teams hitting well from the outside. Rutgers particularly not getting that support during the year from the outside shot. Have to do that now. Team Scout just says they can't shoot from the outside. They give you a little more room. You've got to prove them wrong. Bring them out a little bit.
Datica. 18-14, Penn State by 4. Under 10 minutes remaining first half. Here's Watson. He tried to go inside to Riggins and the foul call.
Interesting watching that defense for Penn State. It's a matchup or combination, and they're having a little bit of problem. They're finding men wide open inside and scrambling to cover them.
Fourth team foul on Penn State. Rutgers inbounds. Here's Watson. He's open momentarily, shuffled his feet, and traveled. Steve had that open jump shot from three-point range. Didn't like it. Tried to get better position.
Sometimes it's tough for the shooters. You know, a shooter, if he's a shooter, doesn't want to take it inside, doesn't want to look for anything better than just getting it off if you're a shooter.
Boy, a host of traveling calls in this first half. Kind of unusual. 9 minutes, 22 seconds remaining in a briskly played first half so far. 18-14, Penn State leads. Here's Steve Brown. Datica. Steve Brown. Datica outside for three, doesn't go. And here comes Brian Allen. Well, Dick Lloyd has exited momentarily, and we're joined by another Lloyd family member, Bob Lloyd. Bob, thanks for joining us.
My pleasure, Lou.
And we'll talk to Bob Lloyd, who will have his number retired here at halftime during the Rutgers-Penn State game over the next few minutes. Right now, Penn State with the basketball. Rutgers, good defense. Shot outside Hovas.
Penn State seems to have really picked up on the outside. In the beginning, they weren't even looking for the outside shot, and now they've had a few three-pointers.
Bob, this must be a very special day for you. To have your jersey retired, the first jersey retired here at Rutgers. Number retired is the more appropriate way to say it. What kind of thoughts are going through your mind as you prepare for that ceremony?
Well, at 21, it would have been an honor. At 41, 20 years later, it's a real big honor.
Here is Watson for three. No good. Penn State the other way. Tony Ward pushes it up for the Nittany Lions. Now he'll bring it back outside. In traffic, Newcomer puts it up. Doesn't go. A foul underneath against Rutgers. We've seen a number of three-point shots in this game. What is your feeling about the three-point shot?
I think it's great for college basketball, and I also like the distance. I know a lot of people don't, but the reason I like the distance is you can set a play up to get a three-point shot. In the pro game, and I know it very well, it was just a little too far for me. I had to be all set to take the shot. But in the college game, as you can see here, it's a matter of being a part of the flow of the basketball game. And Penn State's doing a real good job of putting it up in the three-point range.
So would you have liked the three-point shot back when you played for Rutgers?
I would have loved it.
Okay. Penn State inbounds. And another travel. We have seen a number of traveling violations in this game.
Penn State's looking inside so much that they're almost forgetting where their pivot foot is.
Rutgers will inbound. Let's give the folks some of Bob Lloyd's stats. Playing for the Scarlet Knights, 65, 66, and 67. 2,045 career points. Second on the all-time Rutgers list behind Phil Sellers, 2,399. But something I really want to discuss with you, Bob, is free throw shooting. As Brown takes that shot, we get the opportunity, and we'll have that opportunity now. Almost a 90% free throw shooter, career-wise. Once it's 60 straight free throws. For the young people who are watching the game today, what goes into being a good free throw shooter?
Really, it's confidence, concentration, and technique. If you have those three things, I think almost anyone can shoot 80 to 90%. Seems that Rutgers now is trying to play a little bit more aggressively on defense rather than allowing them to pass the ball inside.
That one did just sneak in there, but Ward missed the layup. Penn State playing 3 for a quarter underneath, but cannot come up with the bucket.
So sometimes that makes the team get a little down. Penn State might be a little worried about that.
Riggins pops, doesn't go off the back of the rim. Riggins and Ward draws the foul. Riggins has been a little bit off in this game so far.
Yes, he has. He seems to be rushing it just a little bit, not getting his feet squared and his shoulder squared to the basket.
Bob, let's take a look at that action underneath the Penn State basket if we can. Look at this. Just good position there by Penn State.
Yes, he's just hanging right in there. Fortunately, Rutgers got it back.
Bob, Eric Riggins has been on a tear of late. He's been averaging about 29 points per game. What happens, what goes through a scorer's mind like that when it's happening? Is confidence build up? Do you feel like you can score almost at will in that type of situation?
I think it very much is confidence. When you get the ball, it's a matter of you try to score. You don't get the ball and look out there. And the alumni game we just played in the beginning, I was getting the ball and just looking to pass, and then at the end I figured, oh, what the heck, it's an alumni game, I'll throw it up. And it makes all the difference in what your mindset is. And if you're scoring well, you tend to want to go get the ball and shoot again.
There's a timeout, but we're going to keep it right here and talk to Bob Lloyd a little bit if we can. Bob, let's go back to your career a little bit here at Rutgers. Of course, the team made the NIT, a third-place NIT against Southern Illinois. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, was Walt Frazier on that Southern Illinois team?
Yes, he was.
That must have been quite a memory to play against that ball club at the Garden.
Well, you know, it's interesting. They were written up as having a great man-to-man defense and great defensive guards. And Jimmy and I think at half I had 18, Jim had 17 or something like that. We lost by a few, but to show why I'm not coaching and recruiting anymore, I just didn't think that Frazier was that strong. And of course, he went on to be just an outstanding professional basketball player.
That was a great season for your club. What, 22-7 that year?
Yes, it was. And I think the thing we're almost proud of, we were talking in the locker room, is to continue the tradition, almost start the tradition of Rutgers basketball, and it's carried along to today. And that's something that it's kind of special, and it's something that you remember.
What is Bob Lloyd doing today for the Rutgers fans who might not know?
I'm the president of an electronics company in Silicon Valley out in California.
Came all the way out from California to visit the alma mater?
Well, it's not every day that your jersey's retired, so it was really my pleasure. My daughter and wife are here with me, and my dad came up from Philadelphia, and of course Dick is here, and my sister also came up. So it's a little family reunion. All
right, Bob, you can stay with us for just another minute or two, and we'll pick up some action. We'll chat a little bit more. Penn State with the basketball, and the Nittany Lions lead it by 5, 20-15, in a very low-scoring first half of basketball. Paul Murphy, number 12, into the game for Penn State. And number 50, Jim, I believe that's Jim Newcomer, although I have him listed as 52. Let's talk a little bit about the Rutgers program now in the Rutgers Ball Club. Team has been struggling, of course, of late, but they have been playing better basketball. Do you see some signs maybe that they may be able to turn things around here?
Well, I think so, and I also think Eastern basketball is just up a couple notches from when I played. A lot of the good Eastern kids would go away, and now they don't have to. They can stay and be on TV and do well. So I think the competition is a little stronger than when I was in Eastern basketball.
Here is Emory Ward. Steve Brown outside with Ricky Datica, loses the ball.
They're really banging inside.
And the foul on Penn State. Also the Atlantic 10 Conference, Bob, it seems to have been improving steadily over the past couple of years. You now have a Temple who is nationally ranked, and there is some tough competition on the hardwood for a team like Rutgers.
Well, I think most definitely. The Big East gets a lot of publicity, but I think what it also does tend to do is keep a lot of Eastern players
home, and many of them go into the Atlantic 10. So I think Eastern basketball as a whole is just much stronger.
All right, Eric Riggins at the line. As we mentioned earlier, he is a good free throw shooter. And we'll take a look at Eric at the line. 1-1, and just, you know, it happens every time, Bob. An announcer says that, and the player misses the shot.
Very true. I was just about to say, look how he's concentrating so well. The shot will be good, and I thought better of it.
All right, Penn State will inbound side court.
Penn State, I think now you'll see, will start to go inside. They really don't have many of their outside shooters in, so they're probably going to look inside and settle up much closer to the basket.
Murphy and Mike Isolino in the backcourt for Penn State. This is Hovas outside. Penn State now has built up a 7-point lead as they lead at 22-15. Rutgers could use a hoop here. Emery Ward finds Datica. Here's Perry, the freshman, Steve Brown. Datica inside to Riggins. Riggins puts it up. Nice catch, though, by Eric in the lane.
Riggins is really, the two of them are really banging in there. It's amazing that the referees are letting that go, because before he got the pass, they were pushing and shoving in there.
But this three-point shot, Bob, let me ask you, do you think that'll change coaches' strategy over the next few years? You think they may tend to recruit players who can hit from that range rather than go for the big guys, which has been the trend over the past 10, 15 years?
I think most definitely, and I happen to think it's good. If someone wants to stay in the gym and shoot for 2 hours and be able to shoot a basketball that well, I think he should be rewarded to be able to play big-time basketball. I also think it's going to change coaching strategy, because if you're up by 3 with 5 seconds to go and the opposing team has the ball, what defense do you play? I mean, it's really pretty interesting.
Eric Riggins gets the second. I was going to say, Riggins is going to come up after me. He had missed that, because he would have missed 3 consecutive free throws, but he does hit it.
I rooted that one in for you.
1 of 2. And the foul is underneath on Penn State.
I think that was a makeup for down the other end when the guy was banging him down the other end.
Bob, I know you got to run soon, because you will be honored at halftime. I want to thank you very much for joining us, and once again, congratulations on a great day for you, I'm sure, and it's just got to be a great feeling.
Lou, it's really my pleasure, and I want to thank my brother Dick for letting me sit in. And our voices are identical, so for everybody, I'm leaving and Dick's coming in. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Bob. And yes, it is Dick Lloyd who has rejoined me now.
Actually, the people watching won't even know the difference with the voice, I guess. It was nice to step back there, though, and look over your shoulder. It was just amazing to watch Eric Riggins in there working so hard. That's what so many centers do not do, and he posts up strong. You can't help but want to give him the ball.
Lee Perry hits the free throw. 22-18. Penn State by 4. 5 minutes, 17 seconds remaining in a low-scoring first half of basketball. Murphy finds Hovas. Here's Murphy outside. Isolino, 0-0. Good defense here by Rutgers as Penn State looks to get it inside, but is really struggling, Dick.
They were much more effective against that man-to-man.
There's the turnover.
Greg was wise, changing back to a little bit more of a zone or combination against a man-to-man. Penn State stacked it in tight, and they were setting some very aggressive screens and were able to get it down low. Fortunately for Rutgers, they missed that series where they just couldn't, 3-4 shots, couldn't get it to drop.
I take a look at Bruce Parkhill on the Penn State bench. He's visibly upset, I think, by the way his club has played over the last couple of minutes. Watson moves baseline, cannot get it to go. What a tip by, was it Riggins or Ward?
Eric Riggins, no question about that one. He worked hard from the right side over to the left side. Keep telling players when they do that and come out of a pack, they're supposed to come out with their fist raised, so there's no doubt with the scorer who got the 2 points.
Isolino, bounce pass inside, shot put up, and the foul. Let's take a look at that play once again, Riggins.
It was a great move because he was on the right side of the basket. And watch him, he'll just roll right to the other side and goes up with the left hand on that tap. Super job by Eric. He's really playing well. That's the interesting thing. It's not only the fact that he's scoring, but he just seems to be playing very smart basketball. He's rebounding. He's making great cuts. And if we get a chance to watch him just physically trying to get that position inside, that's a lot of hard work.
Here is Carl Schrabis at the line. Hits the first. He'll get another. And second, good. So Schrabis hits both. Penn State by 4, 24-20.
Interesting, Penn State throwing a lot of people in the lineup trying to handle Eric Riggins if they can. Back to their little pressing type defense, kind of a 1-3-1. They'll try and get a soft trap out of it.
Ward has it go through the wicket and then dives underneath the Penn State bench. Ball lost by Rutgers. It'll be Penn State's ball. Ward seems to be all right.
Ward got lost under that Penn State bench. As a matter of fact, he was right under that Gatorade there.
He seems to be okay. Penn State will come the other way. Here is Tony Ward for Penn State, bringing it up. Murphy.
Now shoot! Now shoot! Now shoot!
For three, Murphy, in and out, rebound, Lee Perry, strong rebound by the freshman. Here's Steve Brown across the midcourt line, bounce pass Riggins, baseline, moves baseline and scores.
Great job because the Penn State player stepped in. He got around the player on the baseline, but another player stepped in. Riggins pulled up, very great body control.
It's a 2-point ball game. Penn State by a bucket, 24-22. Craig Littlepage looking for a traveling call, gets none. Ward with an acrobatic shot underneath. 26-22, Nittany Lions by 4. Under 3 minutes remaining first half. Riggins underneath. Penn State with the basketball. Here's Ward. Hovas. Murphy.
Murphy having a little trouble hanging on to that basketball. Their last time down, he almost lost it.
And offensive foul against Penn State. Let's take a look at that basket by Tony Ward that I termed acrobatic before.
It was a great play. They almost panic on it. He gives a nice little pump fake, goes inside. You talk about body control.
Now Penn State over the limit, so Rutgers will be shooting 1-1 here. And an opportunity, if both free throws are hit, to tie the game. Emory Ward at the line. Should point out that Rutgers has played well here at the Athletic Center this year, 6-4 on the year. It's on the road that the team has struggled.
Having a little bit of trouble.
He hits the first.
Penn State, on the other hand, looking to, with a win here, to go 500 on the road. Of course, the mark of a good team is one that can win on the road as well as home.
Second on the way, no good. The rebound to Travis. Here comes Penn State. They lead it by 1, 26-25. Foul on Rutgers, Emory Ward.
It is a physical game inside. We've been talking about Eric Riggins, but there's a lot of battling going on inside for position. The defender wants to try and front. The offensive player wants to try and get that position.
Let's take a look at it again.
We'll see if it's a defender fighting over the top. There's Ward trying to hold that top spot. As the ball swings around, there's Hovas trying to get in. And you see that's a tough one to call because Hovas had that arm out there and you can't hold with your arm. You move with his body, but he can't keep that arm extended and hold him out.
And Hovas on the line hits the first. He'll get another. As Penn State leads by 2, he can make it 3 here. It's on the way and good. Penn State by 3, 28-25. Just under 2 minutes remaining first half.
Penn State going back to the defense that's been effective for him now. This little trap, soft trap here, has gotten 2 or 3 steals for him.
Datica moves to the lane outside to Riggins. Riggins pops over 3 defenders and hits.
I was going to say, for no other reason, I'd go to that defense because it moves Eric Riggins out to the corner. But he's a threat out there, too, as we just saw.
28-27, Penn State by 1. Hovas for 3. No good. Rebound. Last touched by Rutgers, and that's a good call. I thought he was going to point towards Penn State, but definitely last touch by Rutgers. And the Lions will inbound. Newcomer, 52. Tries to go inside to Travis, but Watson with good defense knocks it away. Here comes Brown quickly across the midcourt line. Datica. Riggins is wide open and then travels. Eric had that wide open 3-point shot. Elected not to take it.
Well, it goes back to that philosophy. If you're a shooter, don't try to get it better. If you're in your range, take it. No pump fakes. No 1 or 2 dribbles to the basket.
Penn State by a point, and there's just 1 minute remaining here in this first half. Brown goes for the steal, comes up empty. Here is Ward for 3. Doesn't go. Lee Perry is fouled. I believe they'll call it against Murphy, number 12. Momentarily screened from Murph's number, so had to wait on the call.
Officials done a good job the first half. Tough game to work because it's very physical inside. Seems to be balanced so far.
Tom Everson into the game for Rutgers. And Lee Perry at the line. Watson sits down for the Scarlet Knights. 52 seconds remaining, and Perry, if he can hit both, can give Rutgers the lead. First is on the way, and good. So we're tied at 28. And the second. Good. Rutgers by a point. Knights lead it 29-28. 50 seconds remaining. First half. So there's a 5-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Here is Tony Ward. Hovas. Travis for 3. Hovas with the rebound in the basket. Nice move by Tom Hovas. Penn State by a point. 30-29. Craig Littlepage signals a play, and Rutgers will probably play for the last shot here with just 20 seconds remaining. Here's Brown and Datica just playing catch, as they'll probably make a move around 10 seconds.
Unfortunate for Rutgers that last time because they went into the 3-2, kind of a prevent defense, and with 30 seconds to go, they got to force it up from the 3-point range and then just missed that rebound.
Datica for 3. No good. Rebound. Datica at the buzzer. Hits. And that'll do it. That's it. We've played one half of basketball here at Rutgers, where the Scarlet Knights lead at halftime by the score of 31-30. We will return with a look at the first half and second half action in just a moment.
Sports Channel is proud to announce that the youngest member of the NHL is the newest member of the Sports Channel team. The exciting New Jersey Devils are now part of the Sports Channel lineup, joining the Islanders and Nets in dynamic New York area action. You'll be able to see exclusive games of the Young Devils, led by All-Star center Kirk Muller and the sensational Greg Adams. Plus, you'll cheer Sports Channel's in-depth coverage of this up-and-coming franchise. A matchup that can't miss, the Devils and Sports Channel, #1 in New York sports.
And welcome back to the Lewis Brown Athletic Center, where Rutgers leads Penn State at halftime by the score of 31-30. Lou Brogner joined by Dick Lloyd. And Dick, first half, kind of a slow tempo of basketball, especially early on. Both teams kind of ice cold. Let's take a look at the halftime statistics and kind of reflect what we were talking about. Rutgers out shooting Penn State this time around from the field.
Well, I think Rutgers shooting from the outside as well as I've seen them shoot. We talked about them going inside to Eric Riggins. When Penn State has played that little bit of a trapping defense, it definitely gives a different look to the Rutgers team because they move them out to the corner. Ricky Datica's hit some from the outside. That's keeping them in the ball game. The rebounding situation we talked about, Penn State out rebounding them. Rutgers is going to have to stay with that if they're going to climb ahead and really stay ahead this half.
All right, turnovers basically even in the free throw percentage. Penn State shooting pretty well from the line. Rutgers took the lead at the end of the first half on a Rick Datica basket after a miss originally. Then he got his rebound and put it in. Let's watch it.
It's a great play because he's going to take it, try to be in that three-point area. He throws it up. As soon as he hits the ground, he's going right in. That's great sense by him, and he gives that great power move, just laid it out. Very nice move by the guard.
All right, just underway, second half. Penn State moving left to right on your screen. Nittany Lions trail by a point. They go with the original starters of Jones, Hovas, Newcomer, Ward, and Allen. Actually, it's not Newcomer out there this time. It is Ed Fogel, who was an original starter. Not in our original starting lineup, though. I hope that clarifies it. Here's Penn State with the basketball.
We both started Newcomer. We'll just have to speak to Bruce about that.
Yes, Bruce Parkhill, though, did not have the same ideas. Here is Hovas, who hits. Tom Hovas with the 15-foot jumper, and Penn State leads by a point, 32-31. Rutgers also with their original starting lineup of Brown and Datica in the backcourt. Ward, who drives to the bucket, scores, and is fouled. Riggins and Lee Perry up front.
Nice move by Emery Ward. He doesn't usually look for that kind of thing, but there he gave a nice fake, took it inside, got the basket, could make it a three-point play.
And Emery Ward to the line. Rutgers by a point, and he could put Rutgers up by 2. Emery, the sophomore from Jersey City, connects. It's a three-point play, and Rutgers does lead by a bucket, 34-32. Hovas inside. Fogel puts it up, doesn't go. Rebound knocked around. Rutgers has it. Perry spins away and now hands to Brown. Steve Brown will bring it across for the Scarlet Knights. He goes inside to Ward. Nice move on the baseline. Back outside Datica. Brown bounce past Riggins from the corner. He spins out.
Rutgers moved it nicely around the perimeter that time from the right side into that left corner quickly.
Tony Ward comes right back and scores for Penn State. We're tied at 34. Here is Steve Brown, who will set it up for Rutgers. Riggins turnaround is good.
Great move. Brian Allen now playing. I think Penn State is at everybody but Bruce Parkhill, brother of Barry, playing Eric Riggins. That time Brian Allen was on him and fell down.
Brian Allen bounce pass inside Fogel. Nice position by Fogel. Nice pass by Allen.
Penn State done a nice job of getting the ball inside. They've had trouble, though, connecting inside. We saw that series in the first half where they must have had 3 or 4 shots at the basket and wouldn't have dropped. They are getting it inside. They're going to have to capitalize on those.
Datica, Steve Brown, Perry. That one knocked away, and Brian Allen is off to the races. Brown knocks it away! Steve Brown with a nice defensive play. Brian Allen was looking for the foul and didn't get it. Bruce Parkhill is looking for it too. We're tied at 36, 17 minutes remaining, second half. Here is Allen for 3. No good off the front of the rim. Here's Ward, who dishes off to Brown. Datica stops, looks for help. Brown cross court, Riggins. Eric Riggins is fouled by Tony Ward. Let's take a look at that fine defensive play once again by Steve Brown as he knocked the ball away.
Well, it was Steve's pursuit as he gets into the side. Looks like he had a pretty clean block. It's hard from our camera angle, and part of the problem there, the official was caught behind the play, so he really couldn't see, and he didn't want to guess.
Riggins at the line. Riggins will get 2. Second team foul for Penn State. His first is on the way and good as he gets the roll. RU back on top by a point, 37-36. Well, not a high-scoring game, but certainly a very close game up to this point. Second on the way, and good. As it bounces in. Rutgers by 2, 38-36.
Rutgers going with a standard 3-2, making it very flat, willing to give those outside shots.
Brown rips it away from Hovas. Danica, great pass to Riggins, who loses control and then is fouled by Brian Allen.
Great play by Ricky on that pass. Caught Urich a little unaware because he was behind the basket. Really thought we had a violation there.
Let's take a look at that pass one more time.
We'll watch the pass, we'll see the play also, and I believe we're going to see that it would have been a violation because you can't leave your feet. Now watch, he goes up, and he cannot do that. That really should have been a traveling call.
So Rutgers catches a break there. Riggins hits the first. He'll get another. And he hits the second. 40-36. Rutgers has their largest lead. They're up by 4, 40-36. 16:23 remaining. Tony Ward gets instructions from head coach Bruce Parkhill. Hovas. Ward in the lane hits. Tony Ward, sweet shot. Here is Steve Brown. Brown shoots, doesn't go. Riggins gets the rebound and is fouled. Penn State now starting to pile up some fouls early here in the second half.
Well, I'll tell you, it's interesting. Penn State is really struggling to stop Eric Riggins. Now, I haven't seen it enough. It looks like they could be playing a little bit of a box-and-one with Brian Allen trying to shadow Eric wherever he goes, and he's just giving up a little bit too much size in there.
Here's Brown.
On the out of bounds, of course, they do zone it.
Riggins outside, fires, hits. Four-point Rutgers lead, 15.5 remaining second half. Les Jones has it knocked away. He was trying to go inside to Fogel. And knocked out, I believe is the call. Or a kickball. I believe that is the call. It will be Penn State's possession. Emory Ward comes out for Rutgers and Steve Watson replaces him.
Hands up! Defense, hands up! Hands up! Defense, hands up! Hands up! Defense, hands up! Hands up! Defense, hands up!
Brian Allen called for, no, the foul? I was going to say called for the travel, but Steve Brown must have fouled him beforehand.
Hit him beforehand. Penn State trying to get that ball inside. They're running a double post inside, putting a player on each block. Got Fogel on one of the blocks, Wes Jones on the other block.
It's only the first team foul for Rutgers in the second half. Fogel with a couple of nice moves to get free.
Nice move. Used that front foot very effectively to pivot around, step around the defense.
It's a two-point game. Rutgers by a deuce, 42-40. Watson lost it out of bounds, but last touched by Penn State, so Rutgers will retain. Watson fouled.
I don't know how much longer they can leave Brian Allen on Eric Riggins because he's having trouble literally standing up. He's just trying to play him oblivious to everything else and just shadow him, and he fell down again.
Fogel has 4 fouls with 14 minutes and 37 seconds remaining. That's got to hurt Penn State inside.
Be interesting to see with Newcomer entering the ball game whether they switch the defensive assignments and put him on Riggins.
Watson cannot hit. Steve Watson, the freshman from Franklinville, New York. And he does hit the second. 43-40. Rutgers by 3. Hovas for 3 doesn't go. Watson throwing some elbows, gets the rebound. Here comes Steve Brown across the midcourt line. Riggins, oh, nice move as he went inside and took the short jumper.
Very nicely took it inside, brought the 2 men to him, didn't even have to dish it off, just went up over top of them.
Timeout, Penn State. Bruce Parkhill, he wants to talk it over. 13 minutes, 49 seconds remaining. Rutgers has their largest lead. There's a timeout on the court. Rutgers 45, Penn State 40.
Let's bring on a really big shoe.
Don't be confused by this commercial. The point we'd like to make is, for the biggest selection of high-quality athletic shoes, there's only one place, Effinger's Sporting Goods in Bound Brook. With over 30,000 pairs of athletic shoes, you can count on finding your size and style. All the brands worn by the best athletes in America. So the next time you need a pair, come to Effinger's Sporting Goods Shoe Department. Any other store looks like kids' stuff.
Rutgers enjoys its largest lead, 45-40 with 13 minutes and 49 seconds remaining. And Eric Riggins has been playing like a house of fire.
Playing very well. Bruce Parkhill has to be spending a lot of time on figuring out how they can stop him. I like that little press they were using as being the most effective. They used it early on. It moves Eric outside, although he's playing as well outside as he is inside today. But I'd still, if I had to bet on it, I'd rather have him take that outside shot. He gets inside, and if he doesn't make the basket, you're sure as heck going to foul him.
Riggins, 26 points so far in the game. There's Bruce Parkhill. Doesn't look all that happy at this point, but there's a long way to go. Here's Brian Allen, number 30 for Penn State. Bounce pass to Wes Jones. For 3, Allen hits. Brian Allen for 3. And it's a 2-point game just that quickly. That's how quick that 3-point play can get you back in the ball game. 45-43. Watson for 3. Connects. And the foul on Penn State underneath. It'll be on Brian Allen. Basket is good.
Penn State stayed with that defense. It's kind of a modified man-to-man. Hovas kind of hangs inside and picks up whoever comes through. Brian Allen is just latching on to Eric Riggins, almost looking at him, being oblivious to the ball, but he's hanging on to him, particularly when the shot goes up and they caught it.
Dick, this could be a 5 or a 6-point swing here. They hit the 3-pointer. Datica for 3 off the front of the rim.
You're not allowed to talk about the 3-pointer just like you aren't the foul shooters, right?
You're right.
Craig Littlepage did send that message up to you at halftime. No more talking about my foul shooters.
Tony Ward draws the foul. He'll go to the line. Rutgers' second team foul and Watson's 3rd. Penn State will inbound underneath their own bucket. Jim Newcomer will throw it in. Here's Ward, Wes Jones. Bounce pass inside. Newcomer puts it up. It is knocked away by Watson. Lost out of bounds by Rutgers. And Penn State has the basketball.
Another example, I don't know who's keeping that stat of Penn State getting it inside, getting the little chip, he can't convert it.
Newcomer will inbound. If he can find someone, finally gets it out to Wes Jones. Here's Murphy. Tony Ward will set up for Penn State. Ward for three. Off the back of the rim, Riggins rebounds. Steve Brown quickly up to Lee Perry, spins against Hovas, does not connect. And Ward comes down with a rebound for Penn State. Pushes it up the court. Tony Ward knifes in, and the foul outside on Rutgers, I believe on Datica.
Tony Ward going coast to coast did a great job of rebounding this end, and there was no question that he was going to try and score in the transition. Pushed it up.
Timeout called by Penn State, I believe. 12 minutes, 11 seconds remaining. Timeout on the floor. Rutgers 48, Penn State 43.
Sports Call. It's what phones are made for.
Should point out on a Sports Call Tuesday evening on Channel 6, it'll be Lady Knights basketball. The topic is head coach Teresa Grentz joins us along with Sue Wicks and Chris Foley. So we'll be talking Lady Knight basketball on Tuesday evening on Channel 6. Any questions about Lady Knights or the upcoming tournament, give us a call. Hope you could join us then live 6:30 Tuesday evening. All right, Dick, that last foul, let's take a look at it. Penn State.
Here we said there's no question that Tony wanted to get that in transition, and he goes between the legs and just continues in.
Just clobbered. And he will go to the line. Rutgers leads by 5, 48-43. Tony Ward, leading scorer for Penn State on the season. 74% free throw shooter. And he does not hit the first. As he looks into the Rutgers cheering section, the pep band, I see two cone heads there in the pep band. But the Ward is unnerved as he hits the second. Hits one of two, 48-44.
Penn State's now back to that soft pressure.
Datica. Under 12 minutes remaining. Watson being played by Newcomer. Perry, cross-court, Datica open. Pops. Does not go. Rebound to Penn State.
In a sense, effective defense for Penn State. They kept the ball out of Eric Riggins' hands that time.
Murphy, Tony Ward. Murphy lost it, but was hit by Datica as he made the turn towards the bucket. Second foul on Datica, fourth team foul for Rutgers. Penn State will inbound underneath their own basket. Hovas, bad shot from the baseline, hit the side of the backboard.
You'd shoot bad too if you had to look around that brace, right?
That's true. Dick, I shoot bad without that brace. Here's Datica, Steve Brown out up top. Perry, touched by a Penn State player. Inside, Perry goes for the slam, recovers, does not go. Riggins scores. Doesn't count? I believe so. Maybe not. Yep.
Find that very interesting. that defense of Penn State's. Eric seems to get lost over there. He doesn't even touch the ball, didn't touch it on the 2 possessions that time, and he just decided, I'm going to come in and get it some way, and he got it off the board.
All right, let's take a look at it one more time, Dick.
It's a great job because he's coming in from that right side. He's been isolated over there, haven't gotten to him. There goes the try for the jam. Ball comes off. Look at him come in strong. That's what he's doing so well. There were times years ago, games ago, where he'd just hang in that corner, maybe sulk a little bit because he didn't touch the ball. He didn't. He came right to the hoop.
All right, Riggins goes to the line, and he'll try to complete the three-point play. 50-44, Rutgers with their largest lead by 6. And the free throw, no good. Rebound, Pipos of Penn State. Tony Ward quickly up court. Murphy with the jumper in and out. Rebound knocked around, a scramble underneath. And the call, I believe, is against Rutgers.
No, it's a Rutgers call.
And the call against Penn State.
He was making a big effort to say, you touched that ball out of bounds, and then he changed his mind. Be interesting to see that one again to figure out why he called that. That's why he did call it, as a matter of fact.
All right, Steve Brown, Watson, Perry, Riggins. Hovas for 3, connects. Tom Hovas. 50-47, Rutgers by 3. Offensive foul, I believe, against Riggins.
Eventually that gets you that. When both teams are battling in there, they're usually going to go with the offensive play early on and call the foul on the defense. That time they called it on the offense.
For Riggins, his second.
Not too bad for him to go this long and being as aggressive as he has been in there and not have it called before then.
Hovas, whistle, traveling. Dick, let's take a look at that play that was out of bounds before.
Yeah, there's no question. You'll see the ball sitting out of bounds, and the Penn State player will go down, see the Penn State player, and there is no such thing as a force out anymore. It's either got to be a foul if that player landing on his back forced it out. But the ball was out of bounds, and if you touch it out of bounds, you're the last one, and you caused it to go out. So it was a good call.
All right, here's Riggins for the Scarlet Knights. Datica, Watson, Datica for 3, hits. A 6-point Rutgers lead, 53-47, 9.5 remaining. Vogel with the hook, gets his own rebound and scores. (53-49). Watson, Ward, Emory Ward moves in the lane, loses, and the foul on Penn State.
Interesting matchup for Penn State. Paul Murphy now at 6'2". Substitute, really, guarding Eric Riggins.
That's it for Vogel. He's gone. 5 personal fouls. There's the RU Coneheads, as we referred to before. And I'm glad we got a shot of them so people knew I was telling the truth.
I'll bet they're glad you got a shot of them, too.
Jim Newcomer's back in the game for Penn State. Riggins will be on the line. He'll shoot 1 and 1. Well, Riggins has to like that matchup against Murphy. First, in and out.
Sometimes it can be a little frustrating when a smaller, quicker guy plays you. Sometimes you like that guy. It's a little bigger, a little slower.
Foul outside on Rutgers.
Newcomer and Ward going at it in there.
All right, Emory Ward is called for the personal foul.
Emory shaking his head saying, I was only trying to get my territory. I have as much right to it as he does.
For Ward, his third. For Rutgers, their 16th foul. And Lee Perry back into the lineup for the Scarlet Knights. Penn State will inbound underneath the basket. Hovas, bounce pass inside, too many hands there for Rutgers. Here's Steve Brown. Beautiful pass. Danica, touch pass. Riggins puts it up underneath and scores.
That time Eric said, I'm going to know where I am. I'm under the basket. I'll just step back out and score.
That looks so easy, doesn't it, Dick? But that is an extremely difficult shot.
Very difficult shot. He's way behind the basket.
Knocked out of bounds. Will be Penn State. Let's take a look at that Riggins basket one more time.
It's a great touch pass, too, from Danica that gets it to him. And it was almost identical before, only this time he put it on the floor. He realizes where he is, and he puts it on the floor and takes a step back. Nice power move.
Meanwhile, Penn State trying to get the ball inbounds. Watson knocks it back out. A 6-point Rutgers lead. The Scarlet Knights lead at 55-49. Here is Murphy out top for Penn State. Hovas for three. Too hard. Danica tracks down the rebound for Rutgers and keeps control.
Smart move. Ricky saw he didn't have anything there. He brought it back out.
Watson for three.
That makes it even a smarter move. He held that up, got Watson in good shooting position.
And Rutgers with their largest lead, and Penn State calls timeout. 7 minutes, 55 seconds remaining. Rutgers 58, Penn State 49.
It's tip-off time for college basketball. You'll see over 100 regular season games all live on ESPN, featuring the defending champion Louisville Cardinals. Key games from the Big Ten, Big East, ACC, and 15 more of the nation's top conferences. Games with outstanding independents like Notre Dame. Finals of conference tournaments and matchups from the NCAA championships. It's the stuff dreams are made of. College basketball's best, live on ESPN.
And you hear the fans here at the Lewis Brown Athletic Center whooping it up as Rutgers has stormed out to a 9-point lead and playing very well over the last few minutes. One of the Rutgers fans, no doubt, referring to Tom Hovas with the face guard.
Innovative, I must admit that.
Really, the Scarlet Knights playing well over the last few minutes.
You're right. What they're doing, they're staying with their game plan. They haven't panicked. They've been just chipping away, being very consistent. Penn State having a tough time stopping Riggins. Rutgers getting more outside scoring than I've seen them get before. Steve Watson staying in the ball game, gives him a good outside shooter.
Craig Littlepage has to be pleased with the way the club has played here today, especially here in the second half. Now Penn State will inbound. Hovas hands to Tony Ward. Of course, now 9-point lead is not that much when you consider that Penn State, the way they can shoot those 3-point shots. Murphy, this is for two. Too hard off the back rim. Foul on Rutgers. I think it's on Riggins. And that is the call. 7th team foul against the Scarlet Knights. Foul is on Riggins, his third, and with Rutgers over the limit, Jim Pipos will go to the line for Penn State. He'll shoot 1 and 1. And he hits the first.
Rutgers, Lou, staying with that 3-2 zone, which has been fairly effective. Penn State's been cold for a while. Can't seem to get that shot from the outside.
Second good. 58-51.
Now they have newcomer on Riggins, a little more size. 6'10 versus 6'2 before.
Steve Brown, Steve Watson. Perry. Watson puts up a poor shot. Penn State will come the other way. Watson goes down, no call. There is Tony Ward spinning. Murphy inside, puts it up too hard. Newcomer with the rebound. crowd calling for a travel, but the foul is on Riggins. That is Riggins' 4th personal foul. He may have to come out. And he will. Emory Ward will replace him. That's going to hurt Rutgers offensively, especially.
Quite a bit. Penn State making a change there too, pulling out Paul Murphy. Brian Allen back in the ballgame.
Here is Newcomer at the line. 1-and-1. No good. Rebound underneath. Foul on Penn State. Hovas.
Over the back.
Rutgers will come down the other way and shoot. As we will be in 1-and-1 the rest of the way. 58-51 is our score here. Rutgers by 7. Lady Knights had a close one today down at St. Joseph's in Philadelphia.
Good win for them though, won 63-60. Penn State has to go down to St. Joe's yet. That'll be their last Atlantic 10 game. Rutgers will have 2 at home. St. Joe has to come up here. That's a snow out, and then GW.
Perry, excuse me, hits the first. Lee Perry at the line. Perry will get another as Rutgers has an 8-point lead, and Perry will try to once again make it 9. Second is on the way and in and out. So it is an 8-point lead, 59-51. Ward loses a scramble. Danica comes out with the basketball. He lays it up and scores.
A very nice job of using his body there to protect it from Hovas, who was coming on strong.
A 10-point Rutgers lead. Scarlet Knights have their largest lead, 61-51. Here is inside West Jones. Doesn't go. Rebound, Brown. Rutgers the other way. 6.5 remaining. Steve Watson. Emory Ward inside. Double team now. Gets it back outside to Danica.
Good smart move. Doesn't have to go up with it right away.
Ward, the turnaround. Good.
Much better under less pressure there. Did a nice job of faking to the baseline. Spun to the inside for a nice turnaround jumper.
Rutgers by 12, 63-51 with 6 minutes remaining. Tony Ward knocked away a foul on Rutgers. All right, let's take a look at that scramble a few moments ago, Dick, in the Danica basket.
When Ward comes out there and just kind of kicked that ball away, look at Ricky. Watch him use his body and put it up with the right hand, but he put his body right into the defense. Good job by Ricky Danica.
Meanwhile, Pipos is at the line for Penn State. He'll shoot 1-and-1.
Penn State does such a great job of posting their men up inside. They get great position. They throw that little bounce pass down into them. They just cannot convert.
Pipos gets the roll. He'll get one more. And second rolls in. 63-53. A 10-point margin. Watson almost loses to West Jones.
Made the cardinal sin there. He waited for the ball.
Both Watson and Jones go down, no call.
No harm, no foul. The official was right over top of him saying, take it easy, guys.
Watson has it blocked from behind by Jones, but he gets called for the foul.
Last time on the play on that inbounds pass, it was a long pass, and Steve was kind of hanging there waiting for it to come instead of taking a step to the ball.
Watson at the line. Let's take a look at that last foul by West Jones.
Does a nice job, Watson put in. He just catches him on the side, probably with the body. It looked pretty good from up top.
Watson hits the first. Steve Watson, freshman, 6'9" freshman. had a starting spot early in the season for the Scarlet Knights. And hits the second, so he hits both. Tom Everson will come into the game. Everson, a freshman, and Watson will sit down.
Substitute the rebounder for the shooters. You're going back on defense. Emory Ward telling him, play smart now.
.12-point RU lead, 5.5 remaining. Brian Allen. Foul on Steve Brown.
I was just watching Pipos that time. He was posting up inside, and he kept saying, give me the ball, give me the ball. And when he got it, the Rutgers zone collapsed, but Steve got too much on.
All right, Mike Pipos at the line. He'll shoot 1 and 1 for Penn State. Penn State trying to win their 14th game of the season, but they're going to have to do some catching up to do it. And rolls in. Rutgers looking for victory number 7. And all 7, if they should pull this one out, will have come here at the Athletic Center. And second, good. So he hits both. 65-55, Brown will bring it across the midcourt line quickly for Rutgers, being guarded by Tony Ward. That's knocked out by Penn State. Last touch by Hovas.
Penn State's now put a little more pressure on. They're picking up at full court.
Foul on Brian Allen. Everson back in. Watson sits down. One of the amusing moments in the game. Watson, who just came out of the game, just happened to be standing right in front of the seat that he was to sit on. He just backed up two feet and sat down.
That's called the take your seat drill.
Here's Datica, who cannot hit the free throw. Brian Allen for 3, and he connects and calls immediately for timeout. 5 minutes remaining in the ball game, and Penn State has cut it to 7. It's Rutgers 65, Penn State 58. A break in the action.
Come on, Cameron, let's go.
All winter long, live life on the edge when ESPN delivers World Cup skiing like you've never seen it before. 16 events, including the 1987 World Championships, America's Downhill from Aspen, and the famous Hahnenkamm provide non-stop thrills. The most prestigious events from the most impressive resorts. There's excitement at every turn, and you won't miss a moment. Your season pass to the World Cup Tour is right here on ESPN.
Back at the Lewis Brown Athletic Center, where Rutgers leads Penn State 65-58. Dick, I think it's important to point out that Rutgers has been able to keep the lead here between 7 and 12 points with Riggins on the bench. Riggins with 30 points in the ballgame.
That's a really important point. As we had said, he had been the whole offense at the beginning of the game, but I think Rutgers is getting much better shooting from the outside than we've seen all this year. Very important point right now for Rutgers to hang on to that lead. This is when Penn State has to make it while they still have time.
All right, Rutgers will inbound. Watson looks to get it in and finds Emory Ward as Penn State goes to some pressure now. Brown gets it across against Ward. Hands to Watson. Under 5 minutes remaining. Intercepted. Wes Jones, good anticipation. And Tony Ward the other way. Now Penn State can cut it to 5 as they make a run now at the Knights. Inside, Pipos scores.
Interesting point here. Craig Littlepage has Eric Riggins on the point of that 1-2-2 or 3-2. Probably try to keep him out of a little foul trouble.
65-60, 4:20 remaining. Brown. Here's Ward. Riggins, and if they call the foul on Riggins, he's gone. I believe it's on Penn State, though.
9 out of 10 will probably be on the defense. That one time, it may catch him. He does a great job. What we have to watch is the way he holds out with his arms and gets away with it.
Lee Perry back into the game. Watson sits down. Riggins will go to the line. He'll shoot 1-1. So far in the second half, Penn State only 9 out of 22 from the field. They have not shot well throughout the game.
Rutgers, on the other hand, shooting exceptionally well, 11 for 21.
And really turnaround from the first time these two teams met at State College. Riggins hits the first. In that game, as we mentioned in the pregame, Penn State shot well over 50%. I believe it was 59, and Rutgers shot only 32%, so a big difference.
Eric Riggins had 13 points that game. He might not have been playing inside as much as he is now, and that could be one of the big differences.
Riggins hits the first. He'll get another. He has 31 on the game. And his second is good. 32 for Riggins, 7-point lead for Rutgers, 67-60. 4 minutes, 10 seconds remaining. Tony Ward quickly up court for the Nittany Lions. Here's Murphy. Ward goes into the lane and draws the foul on Lee Perry. So Ward will go to the line. And again, Craig Littlepage continues his substituting. As Watson comes back in, Perry will sit down. Tony Ward will shoot 1 and 1. Hits the first. Second on the way, good. 67-62. Ward having all kinds of trouble. Intercepted by Penn State, and then Datica caught it and traveled.
Good call by the official. I didn't think he had caught that, but he did. Took a couple steps in there. Nice pressure by Penn State. Rutgers having a little trouble getting that ball in bounds.
And you always know it's a good call when the player does not argue. Datica, nothing to say about it. All right, Penn State now can cut it to 3 as the Lions looking to make a run here at the Knights. Murphy doesn't go. You would think in that situation you would want a better shot. Maybe not, but.
You always want a better shot when you miss.
That's true. Good point. Here's Perry outside. Steve Brown. Datica saved it, but saved it to Hovas. Penn State the other way. Again, they can cut it to 3. Murphy inside. Nice pass to Pipos, who scores. Hey, we got ourselves a ball game. Timeout, Rutgers. 3 minutes, 20 seconds remaining of timeout on the floor. Rutgers 67, Penn State 64.
Doing?
We're watching Steve.
Yeah.
Look.
Oh, he is so gorgeous. I'd love to meet him sometime.
He doesn't smoke.
Yeah, he doesn't even want to be around smokers.
Come on, Kathy, get with it. Smoking's out.
Yeah.
Don't be left out of the crowd. Don't smoke. The American Heart Association. We're fighting for your life.
Rutgers leads it by 3, 67-64. Penn State has made a nice run, and they have gotten back into the ball game very effectively.
Rutgers letting him back in. And, you know, you pointed out before how Rutgers had gotten that lead without Eric in there. You would expect Eric comes back and they just kind of build on it. But sometimes the whole momentum can change, and with Eric inside, Rutgers is looking to try to get the ball in. They've thrown it away a couple times trying to get it into him. So it changes the whole nature of your game.
All right, Rutgers will have the basketball. They'll inbound underneath their own bucket. Steve Brown will pull the trigger.
Interesting, they've changed their alignment now. Instead of lining up straight on the line across the foul line, they're lining up in a little box here. They'll send somebody long.
Foul on Penn State.
So the Penn State player blocked. Steve was taking it out of bounds, and they stepped in on him as he tried to come back inbound.
It's 5 on Allen, and he is gone. So 2 Penn State starters now have fouled out. Allen and Fogel. Murphy back into the game for the Nittany Lions. And Steve Brown will be at the line. He'll shoot 1 and 1. Rutgers going to that formation or play, if you will, where Datica passed it to Brown out of bounds.
On the end line. Only can do that after a basket, but can be very effective. You're guarding a player and your player steps out of bounds, you say, well, now who do I guard?
Brown missed the free throw, but it was tapped back out to him, and he sets up. Emory Ward, 3:13 remaining. Datica to Brown. Rutgers by 3. Lee Perry. Datica, bounce pass. Riggins loses, and it will be Rutgers ball. Last touch by Tony Ward.
Could have been a good play. Eric had that baseline drive, dropped it off to Eric inside, just couldn't quite hang on to it. Penn State player got a hand on it.
Steve Watson into the game. Emory Ward will sit down. Into Perry, back to Riggins. Datica. Penn State playing some tough, aggressive defense here. Brown, 15 on the shot clock. Datica into Riggins, a foul before any kind of move towards the basket. It's on Hovas.
That's what makes it difficult for Penn State. They have to play man-to-man because they need the ball. They have to keep the pressure on. Yet it's so tough to play Eric man-to-man. You need some help there. Craig Littlepage knows that. He's putting Riggins inside with instructions to get the ball to him.
All right, Riggins at the line. Eric with 32 points in the game. He'll shoot 1 and 1. And his first is good. He'll get another. And second on the way, no good. Rebound, Penn State, Tony Ward. It's a 4-point Rutgers lead with 2:40 remaining. Ward bounce pass inside, Pipo scores. It's a 2-point game. 68-66 as Brown brings it across for Rutgers. Sets up for the Scarlet Knights. Here is Ward. Emory Ward shovels to Datica. Inside Riggins, puts it up and scores.
Hovas was fronting. They got some weak side help over, but Eric handled that weak side help.
Fans looking for a travel. Pipos cannot score. Riggins knocks it away. A foul will be, I believe, on Penn State. Bruce Parkhill is hot on the Penn State bench.
He's a little excited.
Foul was on Murphy, his second. And Datica will be at the line to shoot 1 and 1. .203 remaining. And Rick hits the first. 11 points for Datica. Second is on the way, and no good. Rebound tapped around, and it comes to Tony Ward. 5-point Rutgers lead, 71-66. Murphy for three. Air ball. Rebound underneath. Pipos scores. Pipos has done a great job underneath. Whistle. And I believe Penn State has called time. And they have. 152. Let's keep it right here if we can. Let's keep it right here if we can. 71-68. Rutgers by 3. Now, a little bit too early to start to shoot from three-point range, right?
Well, I don't know. I would think if he is a shooter and he's a good shooter, I would get it up and put it up because you've got your big guys underneath to go for the rebound. If it's a good shot and he's a shooter, I wouldn't mind him taking it.
Just a reminder to our viewers of TKR Cable Sports, we've got some big high school basketball games coming up next week. We have the Somerset County A Division Championship. Should be a good ball game no matter who's in it right now. The favorites, I guess, would have to be Bridgewater West and Franklin Township. Dick, your son playing for Rutgers Prep football club in the B division of Somerset County, and they've got to be looking forward to the tournament.
I think they are. They're having an exceptional season. They only have 3 losses. They haven't lost to a New Jersey team yet, although I don't want to pull Lou Brogno. So we have to be careful. We pretend we didn't say that.
They have to be one of the, I would say, one of the strong favorites in that B division of Somerset County, the Somerset County tournament. And of course, the Greater Middlesex Conference Championship games will be coming up later on this week right here at the Athletic Center. You'll see both the girls and boys championship game on TKR Cable Sports. So some big high school games coming up. Right now, we've got a fine college basketball game as Rutgers leads it by just 3, 71-68. Game got off to a sluggish start, but has picked up in intensity here in the second half.
What becomes tough for Penn State, as we said before, they're going to have to play man-to-man. Eric Riggins is in there. If they get it inside to him and he gets fouled, he is an exceptional foul shooter.
All right, Brown gives to Datica. Datica back to Brown, and the Knights do get it in. Under 2 minutes remaining. Inside Riggins. Oh, knocked away, and the foul by Hovas underneath. Initially, a superb play by Wes Jones of Penn State to knock the ball away. Then Riggins recovered well.
But good hands for Riggins, right? He hung on to it, just went down the floor and was going to go back up again. Great pass. I believe it was by Ricky Datica. Excellent pass inside.
Let's take a look at it one more time.
So we see that pass. Rutgers, see Hovas is fronting him. Nice job as that ball was relayed by Datica of getting it inside.
All right, Riggins at the line. Has 35. He'll shoot a 1-and-1. Gets the first. Riggins all-time high, 39. So he's got an opportunity to break that.
Moved up, I think, tonight to 8th all-time scorer. On his way to catching Roy Hinson as 7th.
He hits the second, so he's got 37. That's 2 shy of his all-time mark. Nice move underneath Fusilino. Datica. Riggins scores and is fouled. It counts and he'll go to the line. It's a 5-point Rutgers lead, and Riggins can convert a 3-point play. Well, he has his 39, and if he hits this, it'll be 40. An injured Rutgers player underneath the basket. It is Emery Ward. Looks like he took a shot to the face. Seems to be okay. Well, if Riggins hits his free throw, he'll have 40 points. Of course, the highest point total in one game for Rutgers, Bob Lloyd, 51 versus Delaware.
Without a 3-point play.
Right. All right, Riggins will get 1 here. And an important point is he could put Rutgers up by 6 with 1:18 remaining. Hits 40 points for Eric Riggins. 76-70. Fusilino underneath, hammered by Perry, and Lee Perry called for the foul. So Fusilino will go to the line.
Eric had a little trouble cutting off the baseline on this side, letting Isolino get around there to pick up that foul.
Mike Isolino from Altoona, Pennsylvania, freshman. Christian Appelman in the game for Penn State from Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Timeout, 1 minute, 10 seconds remaining. Let's keep it here again if we can. Dick, some very important free throws, obviously, anytime from here on out.
Well, we said this is what was going to happen, too. With Riggins inside, Penn State can only play him one-on-one. They can't afford to collapse on him because it leaves the other Rutgers players open. When he does get it inside, if he doesn't score, he's going to go to the foul line, and he's proven that he can hit the points in the clutch, which he's doing right now.
We mentioned the improvement of Penn State this year. They do have an Atlantic 10 victory over St. Joseph's, so they have played some good ball.
They're building very steadily under Bruce Parkhill.
And Rutgers, on the other hand, as we pointed out at the top of the game, really needs a win here and possibly against St. Joseph's and George Washington later this week to avoid playing that first Atlantic 10 tournament game on the road.
Well, not only that, if they beat Penn State here, if they're able to beat St. Joe's here and get that win against GW, they'll go into that tournament with a lot of confidence, get the first game at home. Never can tell what can happen when a team gets hot in a tournament.
That's true. And remember, despite the record, the team that wins the tournament goes to the NCAA tournament. It's a long shot, but the way it is set up, anything can happen.
And it's happened many times before in many other leagues, too.
All right, Isolino is at the line for Penn State, and he will shoot 2. Penn State bench a little bit concerned as they trail by 6. First is good. He gets the roll.
Penn State, of course, will be looking to put that pressure on right away, trying to foul right away. Certainly not Eric Riggins.
Second, good. 76-72, 1 minute, 10 seconds remaining. Timeout, Rutgers. And with that timeout, we will take a break. 1 minute, 10 seconds remaining. Your scores, Rutgers 76 and Penn State 72.
I saw that there was an image behind drinking, the people that drank, that they looked older and sophisticated.
I was 11 when I lost my virginity to a guy who was 17, and I was drunk.
Sometimes I'd sleep in the woods. If I didn't sleep in the woods, I slept on the corner. If I didn't sleep on the corner, I slept at someone's house who I didn't even know.
Hey, yo, alcohol is a drug, and you can get hooked on it. And the younger you start, the more damage you can do.
If you want to be somebody, have a family, have a future, just say no.
Say no and say yes to your life.
And maybe a future lady night here at Rutgers. One of the Rutgers fans got to be happy with what the scoreboard says right now. Scarlet Knights 1 minute, 10 seconds away from victory. They lead by 4, but Dick Lloyd, you know as well as anyone, 1 minute and 10 seconds and a 4-point lead is an eternity.
That last 1:10 will go very slowly.
Danica looking to get it in trouble. Watson is fouled by Penn State. The foul is on Christian Appelman, number 14. Watson will go to the line. They'll shoot 1 and 1.
Rutgers,
excuse me, Dick.
Rutgers again had a little bit of trouble getting that in, and of course Penn State, we don't want to say anything about the foul shooting because you know what that does when we say that up here, but one of Rutgers' better foul shooters on the line.
1 and 1 for Watson with 11 points. Steve gets his 12th.
At this point, Penn State doesn't have the luxury of stopping and saying, now let's see, who do we want to foul and who don't we want to foul? They've got to just be as aggressive as they can.
And second is good as he gets the roll. So some big free throws for Watson. Emory Ward into the game. Watson will come out. It's a 6-point Rutgers lead. Ward, that took a long time to pick up that basketball. Knocked away. Brown with the steal. Danica is fouled in the backcourt. They'll go to the line.
Ward across, of course, on that play trying to stop the clock from starting, but what they have to be careful of, you have 5 seconds to get the ball inbounds, and inbounds does not mean on the floor. It must touch someone, so that 5-second count is still going, and I've seen many cases where the players walking alongside of it, and all of a sudden they call the 5-second count.
Let's take a look at the last steal by Brown.
There he goes. We can see it's rolling along. That count now is when the count would stop. They just can't handle the ball. The pass was a little low. Ricky did a good job of picking it up. And of course, Penn State had to foul him right away.
Danica hit the first free throw. And he will get another. Second is good. Danica hits both. Have come out. Watson comes in. Rutgers by 8, 80-72. The Knights looking good here, but still 1 minute, 2 seconds remaining. Tony Ward brings it across, a minute even. Isolino inside Hovas, loses, foul on Perry. Craig Littlepage shakes his head.
Yes, and we don't need that foul to stop that clock now, but Penn State just having trouble. They're delivering that ball around the players' ankles, and it's pretty tough for them to hold on to the ball.
Now, of course, Rutgers stops the clock, and they send Hovas to the line. Danica back in. So that was a quick rest for Danica as Perry sits down. 1-and-1 for Hovas. Big free throws here for the Penn State forward, sophomore forward. Penn State, a young club, no seniors in the starting lineup, so they're going to be a team to reckon with next year in the Atlantic 10. Hits the first. Second, no good. Ward, strong rebound, looking for help. Finds Danica. Danica with the basketball, dribbles around, hits Brown. Brown looks to get it across and is hammered by Isolino. So Steve Brown will go to the line. And Rutgers, with a 7-point lead, has an opportunity to add to that. With 46 seconds remaining. Steve Brown, a pretty good free throw shooter.
You always want to keep that ball moving just a little bit more. Don't give him the opportunity to foul you. Let that clock run out and get out of here with the victory.
Brown's first is good. Nothing but net. Nice arc by Brown.
Hardly even touched that net. It came straight down.
Steve Brown, a senior from Trenton, New Jersey. And he's looking to wind up his career here at Rutgers. He'd like to go out, of course, in style. A nice week of wins could help. Misses the second. 81-73. Rutgers by 8. Penn State's going to have to take some three-pointers now. Ward does and is successful. He cuts it to 5. 81-76. 39 seconds remaining. And we'll keep it right here. Now, with that three-point shot, brings in a new strategy to the game of college basketball.
It does, and of course, being able to call that timeout when the ball goes through the hoop, which was a change of about 4 years ago now, I guess, also does. And you saw every Penn State player right away up in the air calling that timeout. It is a factor. Rutgers has got to try and keep that ball moving around. They don't want the foul. They really don't want to go to the foul line if they can avoid it. They prefer that clock to wind down. We'll see if they change that out of bounds play, because they've had a little bit of problem, and they've gotten away 2 times now. Third time they're going to have to be careful. They might lose it on that out of bounds.
So as we set the scene, I guess what we'll see here is Penn State looking for the quick foul and then coming down and popping some three-pointers.
Absolutely, just like they did that time. They came down and threw that up right away. They'll have to get up as quickly as they can. They can't be particular about who they're going to foul. They're just going to have to go after the ball as aggressively as they can, the first person that gets it, because they need the clock stopped as quickly as possible.
Penn State's coming in at 13-9, 7-8 in the Atlantic 10. 7-9 in the Atlantic 10, my mistake. And Rutgers at 6-18, 3-12 in the Atlantic 10. And Rutgers looking to win number 7. Brown is hammered and goes into the Penn State bench. Now the Rutgers crowd calling for a 2-shot foul, and I have seen no indication of, as of yet, and it's a 1-and-1. It's on Appleman, the foul, but that's kind of irrelevant at this point. 38 seconds remaining. Brown will shoot 1-and-1.
Only 1 second off the clock on that play.
And he hits the first. Big free throw for Steve Brown. He'll get another.
Rutgers doing a great job tonight from the line, particularly in the clutch.
Second on the way, and good. Brown hits both. And Lee Perry comes in for Steve Watson. So Penn State will have to do some three-point shooting here. 83-76 is your score. 38 seconds remaining. Clock stop starts now. Isolino for 3, he's got it. Hey, Penn State can shoot the three-pointers with the best of them, though. Datica fouled in the backcourt to be 1-and-1. 29 seconds remaining. Now, you may be sitting at home watching the game saying, what is Penn State doing here? But, hey, this is the way you come back, especially with that three-point shot.
What Rutgers wants to do is just try and move that ball just a little more instead of one player dribbling it, because the time is just not elapsing very quickly.
This is where Rutgers really has to win it from the line here. Datica cannot connect. He missed a big one. 28 seconds remaining. Penn State trails by just 4. Isolino going for 2 points and scores. Now it's a 2-point game. 83-81 with 21 seconds. Almost stolen. And a foul, I believe, is going to be called on Penn State. Perhaps not. We'll have to wait for the call. It is 1-and-1, and Perry, I believe, will go to the line. This is a tough spot for a freshman, isn't it? 1-and-1, 18 seconds left.
Well, I'll tell you the truth, it's a tough spot for anybody. And I found that out recently, making my comeback in the Cook Intramural League on the foul line, and thinking too much about that shot.
Did Dick Lloyd felt pressure? Here's some pressure for Lee Perry. Really needs to connect on these shots, at least one. A 1-and-1 with 18 seconds. Hits the first. Big free throw. Big smile from Eric Riggins down at the other end, seeing his freshman teammate come through. Second, he's on the way, and good. Perry hits both. 85-81, Rutgers by 4. 16 seconds. Isolino. Ward for 3. No good. Rebound knocked around underneath. Hovas fouled by Perry. Lee Perry doesn't like it, and he's got to watch his temper there. Don't want to get called for a technical at this point.
I'll tell you, though, this game, as they say, is going right down the wire. 8 seconds, 4 points.
5 fouls for Lee Perry. The freshman played well, and I think showed a lot of promise when he stepped up to the line and hit those 2 free throws. Hovas is at the line. And these, of course, are big free throws for him. He'll have 2. And he hits the first. 8 seconds remaining. We've had ourselves a whale of a ball game. 85-82, Rutgers by 3.
Sure have. I'm impressed with Penn State gone down the wire here, running that three-point offense. They're setting that screen along the baseline, sending a player in the right corner.
Hits both. 85-83, 8 seconds remaining. Ward looking to get it in, throws it away. Penn State has it. They can tie it. The foul underneath. with 5 seconds remaining. Foul on Datica. Let's take a look at it one more time.
The ball gets loose. Everybody's just gone for it here. Good pressure. He can't quite get it. Penn State player throws it into the middle. No question on that. Hung with both hands on Hovas's right elbow.
Hey, let's give some credit to Murphy. Paul Murphy, number 12, did a great job to save that ball back in bounds. Now Hovas is at the line. These are 2 big free throws. If he hits both, we're tied with 5 seconds remaining. And he hits the first. He'll get one more. Second is on the way, and good. We are tied at 85. A scramble underneath. Emery Ward. No foul, no harm, no foul there. 5 seconds now. Rutgers looking to win it at the buzzer. 4 seconds. 3. Datica loses at the buzzer. It'll count if it goes, and it goes off the back of the rim. And folks, we are going overtime. So, your score at the end of regulation, Rutgers 85, Penn State 85. We will play a 5-minute overtime. And with that, a break in the action. So, we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll look at OT. 85-85 your score.
Nets and Devils fans, all the action under one roof is now on one channel as Sports Channel brings you exclusive action from the Meadowlands. The red-hot New Jersey Devils are off to a great season. Coach Doug Carpenter has his troops playing gritty hockey, led by the sensational Kirk Muller. The Nets are rebounding strong. Look out for Buck Williams as he leads the Nets charge against the best the NBA has to offer. So don't miss out on exclusive action from the Meadowlands. Catch the Nets and Devils only on Sports Channel.
Welcome back to the Lewis Brown Athletic Center, where the fans who have come out on Bob Lloyd Day to see Bob Lloyd's number retired have been treated to quite a basketball game as well. We are going OT.
Great comeback by Penn State. As I said, they were running that perfectly, executing it, getting it down the floor, not touching the ball, stopping the clock from starting as long as possible, getting in that right corner, and of course they hit the shots. That's crucial, both on the foul line and from the floor. And it gives them a little bit of momentum and kind of has Rutgers saying, geez guys, we had that and we kind of blew it and we're a little bit down. And
all right, we'll jump it up, of course, to begin the overtime. Riggins and Newcomer.
And Riggins trying to psych his players up, saying, let's go, let's go.
Rutgers wins the tap. A 5-minute overtime in college basketball. Here's Rick Datica and Steve Brown in the backcourt. Brown to Riggins. Datica. Riggins pops, doesn't go, and rebound goes to Hovas. Here comes Penn State. Here's Ward, Tony Ward, Murphy. Pipos. 4 minutes, 10 seconds remaining. Inside, beautiful pass. Hovas to Ward.
Nice play. Tony Ward hanging along that baseline. The guard just making that quick cut to the block.
Penn State has taken the lead. The Nittany Lions by a bucket, 87-85. 4 minutes remaining. Here's Watson. Riggins. Steve Brown. Looking for an open shot, can't find it. Datica. Brown, Watson. Under 15 on the shot clock. Into Ward, puts it up, doesn't go. Riggins underneath, loses the foul on Penn State. Tony Ward called for the personal.
Eric Riggins done the same thing he did last time. He just came in, he wanted the ball over here. He didn't touch the ball in that series at all, and he kept calling for it. When the shot went up, he went right to the hoop.
All right, Riggins will go to the line. He'll shoot. He'll have 2 shots. Riggins with 40 points in the ball game. Cannot hit the first. He'll get another. Second on the way, good. It's a 1-point Penn State lead, 87-86 in overtime. 3.5 remaining. Murphy loses, goes crashing into Watson, but Datica retrieves for Rutgers. The Scarlet Knights will come up court with 3 minutes remaining in the first overtime. Here is Steve Brown. Datica. Riggins goes in the lane, does not go. Hovas with the rebound. Here comes Penn State with a 1-point lead and 2:40 remaining. And Ward circles over by head coach Bruce Parkhill to take some instructions. And now Penn State will go into a little bit of a delay. Go inside, P-post, tough shot, scores, and the foul.
Very tough shot. P-post way behind that basket. I didn't think he realized where he was when he went up, but he did. Used the glass nicely.
Mike P-post. He'll go to the line. If he connects, Penn State up by 4. Watson is gone. He has fouled out 5 personal fouls. All right, let's take a look at that shot by P-post again.
It's a great play. It was actually a play, I think, that they called. He came along that baseline, went inside, and it was way behind. Came out very nicely with his right hand.
Everson will come into the game for Rutgers. Tom Everson. P-post at the line, he'll get 1 and try to complete a 3-point play. He could put Penn State up by 4. And he does. The Lions by 4, 90-86, 2:25 remaining. Riggins, Steve Brown. Rick Datica is open for 3. It is short. Rebound knocked out. Brown retrieves. Good hustle by Steve Brown. Fresh 45 seconds. Datica falls down and tripped by Penn State. It'll be a 1-and-1. Datica will go to the line. He'll have a 1-and-1.
Interesting, this defense that Penn State plays, and it's like the 1-3-1 little trapping defense, puts Eric in the corner, and that's kind of where you'd rather defend him, in the corner where you're pushing him outside than down inside where you're sure to foul him.
Rick Datica. Some big free throws here. 1 minute and 58 seconds remaining.
Rutgers now playing with 3 guards with Miles Dixon in there.
And he hits the first. Oh, you know, every time you look down, Emory Ward on the floor.
He's just shaking his head.
Datica will get another. Second is on the way and good. Big free throws for Ricky Datica. 90-88. It's a 2-point Penn State lead with 1:55 remaining.
Rutgers now going man-to-man, and we have Eric with 4 fouls.
As the Rutgers crowd calls for defense. Hovas loses. Last touch by Rutgers. They say off of Riggins. Eric says, no, not off of me. Everson in. Miles Dixon, who is in momentarily, goes out. All right, newcomer will trigger for Penn State. 30 seconds on the shot clock. 1:40 on the game clock. Murphy, Ward, Havas. Havas goes baseline, the foul on Ward. And Havas has been deadly from the free throw line here this afternoon.
It's become a game of foul shooters here as we get down the wire and into the overtime period.
All right, Havas will get 1 and 1. And he hits the first. He's done the job, no doubt about it. He'll get another. Penn State by 3. 1:21 remaining.
Interesting, shows you how important statistics are. 52% from the line.
And he's has to be shooting at least 75-80 today.
For the season thus far, 52%, 52.8.
Penn State by 4. Brown, Riggins. Steve Brown. Inside Riggins. Double team. Turn around. No. Yes, it's good. As he gets the roll. And Riggins calls time. 1:05 and a timeout. Rutgers trailing by 2. We'll take a break. Your score, Penn State 92 and Rutgers 90.
Congratulations and good luck. Amboy Madison Home Equity Ready Credit could be the last loan you ever have to ask for. It's ready cash you can borrow instantly for any purpose at any time. You simply write a check for whatever you need, and you can get approval within 5 days. So stop by or call any convenient Amboy Madison National Bank. Take advantage of the equity built into your home with Home Equity Ready Credit.
And we are back at the Lewis Brown Athletic Center. Let's see Eric Riggins' last shot. Let's take a look at that roll that he got.
He got the roll. He does a nice job of going up strong, and he gets the bounce. It's the advantage of the home court and the home baskets, I guess.
And he not only got the roll, he got the bounce and the roll. So we got the combo on that one. Rutgers trailing by 2, 92-90. 1:05 remaining in the first overtime. Knights come out with Datica and Brown in the backcourt. Up front, they'll have Riggins, Ward, and Everson. Penn State with Pipos. And newcomer up front. The long outlet pass out of bounds. A mistake by Penn State.
The trouble with trying that play, you not only have to break the guy loose, but then you have to throw that perfect pass.
And now, because the ball was not touched by anyone, Rutgers gets the ball underneath their own basket and a chance to tie. They saw Riggins pushing underneath. He's got to be careful. He does have 4 fouls, remember. Datica to Brown. 1 minute remaining. Rick Datica. Brown to Riggins in the corner. Eric Riggins goes inside and scores. We are tied at 92. 47 seconds remaining. Eric Riggins with 45 points.
And a great move. I mean, he's just taken charge of this game. Took it right into that defense and went up over him.
30 seconds. Ward loses. Datica with the steal. And Rutgers could go for the win. Craig Littlepage has spread it out. Shot clock turned off. 20 seconds remaining. We're tied at 92. Here is Steve Brown. Timeout, Rutgers. Crowd on its feet here at the Athletic Center. We'll keep it right here. 15 seconds remaining. Tied at 92. Now, of course, with the tie square, Dick, you have the luxury of going for that last shot.
You do. You can hang on to it because the worst you can do is wind up going into another overtime period. you're going to control the game, not give them a chance to get back in it. I thought perhaps Penn State might have gone a little early for that shot because he had to kind of force it driving in. Wasn't strong enough to take it inside like he did. I think Coach Barkto wanted him to be just a little bit more patient on that.
You mentioned at the very outset in the pregame show that the difference of this Rutgers team between the last meeting against Penn State and this meeting. This really is a different ball club, isn't it?
Well, I think it's different probably for two reasons. I think they know their team much better now, and Eric Riggins himself. He just, every time I see him play, he just gets better and better. And that last move he made down here, he's taking charge. He wants the ball when the going gets tough. He makes smart plays when the going gets tough. Playing extremely well.
You know, we mentioned Bob Lloyd's record of 51 points earlier against Delaware. When you mention things like that, you never consider that there's a possibility that it may be broken on a particular day. Eric Riggins has 45 points. Now, he's very close. If Rutgers should win this game now in this overtime, he obviously will not get it, but he sure came close.
Inbounds play obviously is going to be very crucial.
All right, Ward has got to get it in. And he does to Riggins, barely. Riggins drives in the lane, almost traveled, finds Ward. Emery Ward with the ball, 9 seconds remaining. Brown knocked out, it will be Rutgers' ball. Last touch by Penn State. Scarlet Knights did not look very fluid on that particular series.
Well, it's obvious they want to play for the last shot. They didn't want to take it in.
All right, 5 seconds. Datica, 4 seconds. Inside, throws it away. Penn State at the buzzer. We're going double overtime. So we go double overtime. A break in the action. At the end of one overtime, your score. Rutgers 92, Penn State 92.
Sports Channel is proud to announce that the youngest member of the NHL is the newest member of the Sports Channel team. The exciting New Jersey Devils are now part of the Sports Channel lineup, joining the Islanders and Nets in dynamic New York area action. You'll be able to see exclusive games of the Young Devils, led by All-Star center Kirk Muller and the sensational Greg Adams. Plus, you'll cheer Sports Channel's in-depth coverage of this up-and-coming franchise. A matchup that can't miss, the Devils and Sports Channel, #1 in New York sports.
Double overtime here at the Lewis Brown Athletic Center. Lou Brogno joined by Dick Lloyd, the TKR Cable Sports crew, who is putting in overtime as well, just along with the players in this one. 92-92 is your score. And we'll jump it up again as we begin the second OT. No one has left, and of course, why would they in a game like this? Eric Riggins, 45 points. He's played a long time with 4 personal fouls. He will jump it up against newcomer. Tap control by Penn State. And the Lions will move left to right. Again, a 5-minute overtime period. Pipos, foul underneath on Rutgers. And we'll have to wait and see who it is against. It's on Datica, that's his 4th. So everybody getting into foul trouble now. Pipos is at the line, Mike Pipos. He'll get 2. First is no good. Second, no good. Rebound, Hovas scores. Big bucket.
Very big bucket.
Penn State by 2, 94-92, 4.5 remaining, second overtime. Datica to Brown. Inside Riggins, knocked away, the steal by Penn State. Tony Ward will bring it across for the Nittany Lions.
Was able to front Eric just in time to get up to get that pass.
Hovas for 3. No, they said 2. It didn't count anyway, as it didn't go. Danica with the rebound. Up to Brown. Bring it across. Rutgers looks to tie with 4 minutes remaining, second overtime. Everson, baseline jumper, no good. Rebound, Ward. What a rebound by Emery Ward. Did he go up for that?
He came in really strong for that.
And he was fouled. He will go to the line. Emery Ward's right arm grew about 2 feet on that rebound. Let's take a look at it.
Really comes in strong. He's right up there. Really goes up strong.
He cannot hit the first free throw. Mark Peterson looking to come in for Rutgers. Ward, second good. Everson comes out, Mark Peterson in. It's his first action of the day as he comes in here in second OT.
First action probably in a long time. That's what happens in double overtime. You got to go a little bit further down that bench, and there's not a long bench for Rutgers to get down.
94-93, Penn State by 1, 3:40 remaining. Pepos traveled. Rutgers basketball, and the Knights can take the lead with 3.5 remaining. Here comes Steve Brown across the midcourt line. Peterson in the corner. Knocked away. Ward, though, retrieves. Datica. Datica pops, hits. Rick Datica gives Rutgers the lead. 95-94, 3 minutes remaining. Crowd calling for defense. Tony Ward and Murphy in the backcourt. Hovas goes baseline, he'll score. Tom Hovas with a strong move, and Penn State leads by 1. 96-95, 2:40 remaining.
Emery Ward trying to draw that charge along the baseline. Officials let it go. Penn State playing that combination now, trying to switch off. Could get him in trouble.
Peterson with the spin, doesn't go, the tap, Riggins rebounds and scores.
Eric is always there. He's always coming to that board. That's about the 3rd straight time he's done that.
Rutgers by 1, 97-96, 2 minutes remaining in double overtime. Newcomer scores.
Tough with Eric Riggins down there. All he could do is put up his hands. He couldn't afford that 5th foul.
Penn State by 1, 98-97, 1:40 remaining. Steve Brown, Datica. Inside Riggins, puts it up, scores. 49 for Riggins. 2 points away from tying the Rutgers all-time record for a single game. More importantly, a 1-point Rutgers lead, 99-98, 1:12 remaining. Brown almost with the steal. Hovas for 3, doesn't go. Ward with the rebound. 1 minute remaining. Here is Steve Brown across the Datica. 50 seconds, about 17 seconds difference on the shot clock, between the shot clock and the game clock. "15 seconds on the shot clock, 32 seconds on the game clock." Ward spins, shoots, doesn't go. Penn State with the ball. They can take the lead, 20 seconds remaining. 18 seconds. Timeout. Penn State with 15 seconds. Rutgers leads it 99-98. Eric Riggins has 49 points. We're in double overtime. What a game.
Different situation than the last time in that last overtime period where Rutgers was coming out with a tie score. Penn State now coming out down by 1. They're going to hold that ball. Now they run the risk of losing the game if they don't score the basket. So they're going to have to play for the first good shot. My guess is they're going to try and get it down inside also, count on the officials to call the foul if they don't make the basket.
They have been successful recently going inside to Newcomer and Pipos, and Havas has really played well for Penn State.
Their players do a great job of posting up inside. They get a really good position, good wide stance. They're down low. And of course the guards deliver it well, and it's very hard for the defense to come around on that. So they've got the position. They don't execute quite as well when they go up, but recently they've been scoring.
All right, what does Craig Littlepage say to his club in this situation?
Well, I think with Craig, it's which defense he's going to throw at them now, because Parkhill's going to diagram for one defense. He's going to probably come out with some type of combination rather than risk isolating inside, because he knows Penn State will go inside. He knows he's going to have to collapse a little bit, so he can't afford to do it just straight man-to-man. They'll want to put pressure on, though, when it comes in.
All right, Rutgers goes with Datica, Riggins, Peterson, Emery Ward, and Steve Brown. Penn State will have the basketball. 15 seconds remaining in double overtime. Rutgers leads by 1, 99-98. Penn State comes out with Tony Ward and Murphy in the backcourt. Havas. And now another timeout by Penn State. So there, Bruce Parkhill just wanted to see how Rutgers was going to line up.
That could have been part of it, and what Rutgers doing could have been part of the act too, but they were pointing out like they were going to take man, and they may play a man at least till the ball comes in bounds, and then go to some modified version, some kind of combination, or just sloughing man-to-man defense.
We mentioned Rutgers coming in with only 6 wins on the season, so they're looking for victory number 7. And we did mention the importance of these games coming up this week. Penn State, St. Joseph's, and George Washington, as Rutgers jostles for position in the Atlantic 10 standings and tries to get a home game in the first round of the tournament. And in Rutgers' situation, that is most important because the Scarlet Knights have not played well on the road.
Right, that makes getting that not winning at all on the road yet. They don't want to go to that Atlantic 10 playoff and have that be an away game. They'd like to start at home, get started right in that tournament.
And Penn State, on the other hand, with the 13 victories, looking to improve upon that mark and try to pile up as many wins as they can. Of course, the NCAA tournament is a factor, but then you always have the NIT down the road, looking, of course, at your regular season victory total. So Penn State looking for a successful season, and they need this one here today. All right, 15 seconds remaining. We're in double overtime. Rutgers leads by 1, 99-98. And Penn State has the basketball. Havas will inbound for the Nittany Lions. Gets it into Ward. 14 seconds. We're down to 12.
Rutgers playing straight man-to-man.
Tony Ward scores. Rutgers has the basketball. Timeout, I believe, called by Rutgers. Yeah, Craig Littlepage called for the timeout. 7 seconds. Penn State leads it 100-99. There's time.
Certainly is. 7 seconds is plenty of time, particularly with an Eric Riggins in there if you can get it down into him. But it'll be interesting to see how Penn State counters with the defense. That fan is not.
Well, she was concerned briefly until she found out she was on camera.
Coach Parkhill talking over the strategy now, trying to decide on that defense. Rutgers went for the man-to-man defense that time. Ward was able to drive right by and score the unmolested layup. We'll see if Penn State comes up with some kind of a combination for helping defense.
Folks, that's tough.
Trying to get from one end to the other.
Trying to go full court. Almost. Well, I would not have made it to the foul line, so that's a successful effort.
In fact, some of us would have trouble walking from end line to end line.
Meanwhile, 7 seconds remain, and Rutgers is looking for the win now, 100-99. So again, same situation. Look for that first good shot.
7 seconds is, you know, you don't have much time. You're just looking for a shot. It's going to happen so quickly.
Inside to Riggins if they can do it.
You're putting pressure on me now.
I'm putting you on the spot, Coach.
Obviously, if you can do it inside the Riggins, but it's going to happen so quickly, they'll probably bring him off, try to set up a little screen for him. He can't just live in there. They'll double. They'll try to run a little screen. They've got pressure there. It's going to be at three-quarter court, so they got to get it inbounds first. And then right up the floor, get it up and send everybody to the boards.
Or Danica will pull the trigger, or no, Ward will pull the trigger. Emery Ward. 7 seconds remaining in double overtime. Here is Brown, 6 seconds, across the midcourt line. 5 seconds, Steve Brown. Eric Riggins, 2 seconds, no good. Penn State has won. The victory goes to Penn State in double overtime as they win it 100-99. And Dick Lloyd, an excellent ball game, exciting game.
Excellent ball game, I think, on the part of both teams. Penn State just hanging in there. They could have given up a long time ago. They stuck with it. Rutgers for that last play. They got it to Eric Riggins, swung him along the baseline, just couldn't drop that one.
Eric Riggins, 49 points in the game. Outstanding performance. Tom Hovas for Penn State, also 27 points. He really did a good job.
And a great job from that foul line in the clutch with Hovas also.
For Riggins, his all-time high. Well, Dick Lloyd, it was a pleasure working with you this season. The three Rutgers men's games we did, and of course the Lady Knights as well, as this is our last game. It's been a pleasure.
My pleasure.
All right, that'll do it from the Lewis Brown Athletic Center in double overtime. Your final score is Penn State 100 and Rutgers 99. Rutgers University basketball is brought to you by Effinger Sporting Goods, New Jersey's largest sporting goods complex located on Route 28 in Bound Brook. For Dick Lloyd and the rest of the Channel 6 sports crew, I'm Lou Brogno. Thanks for joining us. Once again, your final score in double overtime is Penn State 100 and Rutgers 99.